This week on the Unpopular Opinion Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Teddy Riley moment.
It's a hoax. It's nothing to worry about. It'll go away.
Did you steal that on the air sign from Hot 97 when you left? Because that's the same sign we had. Did you steal that?
Nah, actually, I probably took this from GCI.
My version of Let Me Clear My Throat, I did it off Unbelievable, Kick in the Door, and something else, right? Mm-hmm. It's the worst fucking record that ever was made. Terrible.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if you personally hit Candace Owens and her stanky
cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
All right. Let's do it. Ready?
Yep.
Yo, what's happening? Welcome to the Unpopular Opinion Show. I'm T-Storm alongside my partner, my homie, Mr. DJ Mike Swift. What up, brother?
What's cracking, homie? it's been, oh yeah, you know, the way you said it, it felt regal. So I had to do a little something with that.
Right.
Hey, man, it's been a busy week and a busy day. Yeah. And I'm not gonna front. I am so not prepared for this show today.
Yeah, this is kind of. Usually, I do a little more prep and have things lined up, especially when we have a special guest coming in, and in a few minutes or so, our very special guest will be joining. Good friend of mine, old coworker, and just a gentleman and very talented individual. Fatman Scoop will be joining us on the Unpopular Opinion Show. So.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
All of the 90s. If it wasn't for that brother, I wouldn't have rocked no parties. Right? Like
he certainly made it easy.
Benjamins or the Franklins rather. All of those records, man, changed the game.
Yeah, he certainly gave us some an arsenal to help, keep the party moving. So we'll be talking with him. He'll be joining us in a few. In the meantime, what the hell are we talking about, Mike?
That's a damn good question.
All right, well, okay. The highlights of this week, in the political spectrum, hearing the tapes. How did you feel when you heard the tapes? That are the current, I won't even call them that, the current White House occupant admitted to playing down the virus back in February. So
I didn't hear that tape. I heard something else, damn it. It was the other night. And like I said on the show before, I've gotten to a point where I just kind of ignore him because he triggers me. But it was something where some tapes were playing where he was saying something just completely outlandish. And I was like, oh my God. But it wasn't about Corona because I think I would have remembered that specifically. But what did he say?
Oh my God. What did he say? What we've been saying all along. Hang on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, jeez. Hang on. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Teddy Riley moment.
The hands in the hands. All right. So let me pull. Yes. Right. And I got so much love for Teddy, Mr. Riley. But he knows it's comical.
Yeah.
That happened the way it did. So let's see.
I was listening to Bobby Brown's first album the other day. And I was like, Ted did that.
Mm-hmm. Right, Ted?
Right.
I'm trying to skip ahead so we
It
can go
goes
ahead.
through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. You know, the touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air, you just breathe the air, and that's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus. This is more deadly. This is 5 per. This is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%. So this is deadly stuff. Well, I think, Bob, really, to be honest with you,
Sure, I want you to.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes,
because I don't want to create a panic.
Okay. So that's him admitting that it's way more dangerous, and then within the same week, the same days, out in public. Now he's talking to Bob Woodard, who wrote the books on Tricky Dick about the
which is just fucking hilarious. Tricky Dick.
And it's all on record. It's not like Woodard was recording it. He didn't know. He knew what he knew he's talking to the press, and it was on record. And then out in public, he's saying, it's a hoax. It's nothing to worry about. It'll go away. This is a Democrat hoax.
All right. So, he's dead ass wrong for that, right?
I'm curious if it rises to the level of criminal.
Nah, it won't. Which brings me to my however comma. I don't think that's probably the first time that's ever happened.
Of course not.
Not only from president, but from heads of corporations or whatever. I think he's probably the first one to goddamn get caught on tape and to go as far as to take it as far as he did, right? It's one thing to say, hey, this is not the zombie apocalypse. People aren't dying in the streets. However, your boy. Scoop's popping in.
He's pulling in. Scoop's popping in. So we give him the grand introduction as soon as he
Hold on.
Okay.
Just check. Are you doing this for video or audio, T?
We're doing video and audio. Don't worry, we've had our what we call our Teddy Riley moments on here plenty of times.
That's right. Listen, motherfuckers, if Teddy Riley can have a Teddy Riley moment, your ass can.
Absolutely. Ladies and
If he
gentlemen.
can have one, your ass definitely can have a Teddy Riley moment. Shit, I've had Teddy Riley moments on my shit. It's crazy because now, and I spoke to Teddy about that, now people are saying, you got Teddy Riley Wi-Fi, you got Teddy Riley this, you got Teddy Riley that. So it's tough. However, let's set this up properly. If I do it this way, that does that. Give a second.
No problem. Take your time. We were just discussing just before you jumped on. We were talking about the Trump takes. So before we even, I owe this man an intro. That's because we're already kind of in the middle of doing it. So let me just.
No,
it's cool. This is our format. This is how we do it. We start up and our guests jump in. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the voice, you've seen the face. Grammy award winning. You know what I'm saying? Like DJ, broadcaster, producer, the one and only Mr. Fatman Scoop is here. What's happening, sir?
What's going on, bro? What's going on? Talk to me.
Oh, good, man. This is my man Mike Swift. He and I.
What's happening, sir? How you feeling?
Good, brother. Good. Glad you're joining us today.
All good. All right, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm right. Let me just check something.
Good, do you think?
I'm trying to figure out what angle it is that I'm looking directly in the camera. This is a damn iPad. Hold on. Where am I looking into the camera now? Am I looking directly at you?
No, not right this second.
Am I looking directly at you right now?
Now you are, yes.
Okay, so you have to. I gotta look directly into the thing. All right, go ahead.
All right, cool.
Let's go, brother.
What's happening, Scoop? Thank you for joining.
All good, man. All good. What's happening with you, man? Long time no hear from, man. How are you feeling? I'm
well, man. I'm back. I'm back.
Did you steal that on the air sign from Hot 97 when you left? Because that's the same sign we had. Did you steal that?
Nah, actually, I probably took this from GCI.
Okay, good. As long as you stole it from somewhere, that's the most important.
Right now. You know what I got from Hot?
What?
The keyboard. Isaac Hayes keyboard. It's good. It's safe, and I had permission to take it, but it's the actual keyboard that Isaac Hayes used to do the morning show on Kiss FM in New York City.
Yes, he did. And
they went and got him a keyboard that he would play on the air and sing on the air. And that keyboard ended up when I was imaging manager or imaging director, creative services manager at Hot 97 and Kiss FM. And upon my leaving, nobody else used the keyboard. I was like, yeah, I want the keyboard. They was like, oh, sure, take it. And
wow. Listen, let me explain something. Isaac Hayes was, we all know what Isaac Hayes was, man. Like, growing up, of course, Black Moses, all that stuff. But to have an opportunity to know Isaac Hayes personally, man, it was crazy, man. Like, because remember, like you said, he used to do the morning show. So I used to come in I worked the overnights. So, I was like, hey, man, that's Isaac Hayes, man.
Right.
That's Isaac Hayes, man. And then he would tell me all the stories about ladies and, because remember, Isaac Hayes had 38 fucking Cadillacs, and those shits were like a block long. Like, the Cadillac, it would start at the beginning of one block and it end at the end of the other block, man. Those Cadillacs were like 300 feet long. He would just tell me all the stories, man, about how they would get paid, like royalties. And back then, royalties, you didn't get a check. They just went to the fucking record company with duffel bags and fucking suitcases. That's how they got the royalties.
Wow, that's like a drug trade. That's what's up.
Real shit. Isaac Hayes was a G period.
So, okay, so you know what, Scoop? I mean, I've known you for all these years, and we've never had, I take for granted knowing you, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you've been in the game, you've been doing your thing for a very long time. You're very influential. You've accomplished so much and contributed so much. Even your voice is sampled on other shit, you know what I'm saying? From the beginning, something I never knew, how did you get to Hot 97?
That's a Hot 97 because I used to work at Tommy Boy Records as the promotion manager. So anybody who's watching this podcast, you don't know or listen, you don't know what a promo guy is. A promo guy is the guy who goes to the radio station with the records from the label, and he's responsible to get the records played on the radio station. Mm-hmm. And, anything I do, I go extra. So, there were radio reps that, would come once a week. There were radio reps that would never come. There were radio reps that didn't want to get up in the morning. There were radio reps that, just didn't do whatever. And because I worked at Mount Sinai Hospital previously, and I was an intern, I was used to sleeping like 3 or 4 hours a day. Because I would get up at like 5:30 to go to work at Mount Sinai Hospital and work a full day till like 2, 3 p.m., take my lunch break, go down to Chemistry Records and intern, and get home at like 12 o'clock at night. So it was not, by that time, I had a regular job. I was doing my thing at Tommy Boy, and I was holding the same schedule. I was going to promote records in the middle of the night and in the clubs and handed DJs records or whatever. And I used to go down to Hot 97 like 4 days out of 5.
Okay.
And I would just go in the morning and buy, Ed Love and Dr. Dre, biscuits or, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever it was.
Right. Ed and Dre did the morning show at Hot 97 at that time.
Huh?
Ed and Dre did the morning show at Hot 97 at that time.
Right. Ed and Dre did the morning show at this point at Hot 97. And, I just would be down there. First it started with me coming to the door and not being able to get in. I would just leave my shit there with the assistant.
Right.
And then, slowly but surely I got to know the assistant. And I started, person at the door. And, I started looking out for them too. And then at a certain point, I realized, let me come even earlier. Let me come at like 6, 7 in the morning. And I would come in like 6:30, 7 in the morning, sometimes 6 when they get on. And I would walk in with them. I mean, man, I got something I would walk in with them. So now I don't have to wait for nobody to open the door for me.
Right.
Now I would walk in with them, I would give them the food and stuff like that. Motherfuckers like free food, free whatever, it's cool. And I would, do whatever radio work I needed to do, set up my day or whatever, and I would be in there. And I eventually got a chance to come in. So they would come in, they were like, Scoop, come in and talk to us. And I would come in and I had my own language and my own sayings and shit. Hey, bro, dynamite, get at me, right on. I would say all these different kind of things. And they started taking a liking to me.
Okay.
And then they started saying all the shit that I was saying on the radio. So you're like, dynamite, brother, solid gold, get at me, rap, all the stuff I used to say. And that allowed me to start getting on the mic.
Wow.
Now I'm the record promoter, but I'm on the mic now. So I would come in like 3 or 4 times a week and just say, yeah, right on. And they'd be like, what you thinking about this? I'd be like, bro, it was dynamite, or whatever I was saying. And they would, they would laugh. I became a little character in the show.
Okay.
One day, and then I realized, I said, wait up, hold on. I can do this again. So now I know what to do, where to go, how to maneuver. Mm-hmm. So now I start taking records to Marge Henderson, and at that time, Africa Bambaataa was doing the old school at noon. Okay. And I would take, on Fridays, I would take him records, Tommy Boy records to play. Mm-hmm. And I would hook them up with shit and everything. Right. And the program director at the time, Steve Smith, saw me up there so much. One day he came to me when I was in there. He looked at me, he said, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this. He said, come to my office. So now I'm thinking, I done fucked up not only my relationship at Hot 97, but I fucked up the record label's relationship at Hot 97 because the program director just told me to come in his room. Right. So when I get in there, he's like, you're on Ed Love and Dr. Dre in the morning, 3 times. So he said, I said, how you know? He said, I'm the program director. I'm listening to everything. So now I see you on the old school and new. So you know something? You're here so much. Why don't you do something? I was like, what? So your voice is always heard on here. You have a good voice. Why don't you do the lines? He said, he gave me a bunch of lines. He said, yo, go in there, go in the production room with the guy, just say the lines and, whatever. So say, Hot 97, blazing hip hop and all, because back then I wasn't yelling. Got you. Because I didn't know I wasn't Fatman Scoop, there was no yelling. I was just like, Hot 97, blazing hip hop and R&B, whatever I was saying. Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, I started hearing myself on the radio. I'm like, oh shit, now I'm on the fucking. Right. Doesn't matter. I'm still the record promoter. I'm not even thinking about being on the radio. I'm just thinking about how do I get closer to the people so I can be inside and promote my records. I can walk in without having to sit at reception. Because, I would see other record promoters sitting there outside. I would just be walking through. Right. And they'd be like, oh, shit, how the fuck he do that? I put myself in it. Right. So this goes on for about 2 months or whatever. Steve Smith calls me back another day. And he's like, yo, man, you're here all the time. Your voice is on the station now. Yo, listen, man, we have an overnight slot opening up. So you basically ain't here anyway. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, please, I'll take it. Because at that time, I was working at Tommy Boy. I was about 330 pounds. As you know, doing record promotion is a really stressful job because your job depends on making somebody else's project that you might not even believe in work.
Yeah.
And you've got to convince people of shit that you might not even believe. You might know it's garbage and have to convince them, or whatever the case may be. And you're dependent upon what they do. It isn't like you can get up and work hard and the job is in your hands. You're dependent on whether this DJ or this DJ plays. And right. I was headed towards a heart attack, eating, sitting down and eating, and eating mad shit, and not getting out your chair, not exercising, not doing nothing. And I was headed towards a heart attack. And the stress was like really unbearable. So the stress and the weight and everything was taking me to a bad place. And basically, I took it, man. I said, fuck it, I'll take this. And I went there and I did the overnights. I actually replaced Angie Martinez.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Angie Martinez was doing overnights, and then she went to daytime.
Right. Wow. Damn. That's a testament to, being focused, still being focused on what you were actually doing. You know what I'm saying? And being present and being open to, new opportunities. Being in the right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty dope.
I started to understand that there might be a future in radio for me when they put my voice on the radio. I said, okay, well, maybe shit, man. Like, shit, they think enough about me to put me in the mix here between the voices, because at that time it was Eric Edwards, Hot 97.
Mm-hmm.
Like it still is. I think Eric Edwards is still the voice. I mean, one time they tried to Tracy Cloherty tried to get rid of Eric Edwards. And they tried to put the voice on that does Power 105.1.
Okay.
Tried to put that guy on. And I mean, when they did that shit, man, everybody came to me and complained. So, everybody from Flex to Clue to Enough, Angie, everybody was like, yo, man, that shit is horrible. And I was the last one to come in, because I'm the overnight guy. I said, Tracy, like, and, not that my opinion meant anything more than anybody else, but she's like, if the guy that you never see comes in and says it, it's got to be fucking whatever. And like about 3 or 4 days later, that guy was gone and Eric was back. Eric got gone.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man. Eric still does. I mean, you hear his voice. I hear his voice in other markets, and he still sounds like, you know what I mean? Because everyone in other markets emulate what happens in New York as well.
Right. He got a lot of those markets from Hot 97.
Makes sense.
He probably got a majority of those markets from Hot, because Hot was the lead at the time. There was no other radio station playing hip hop at the time other than Hot 97. So when those stations started coming up, they emulated us.
Yeah. Okay. That's dope, man. So from being on the air, the party records. When did you get to how did that start?
Party records started
because those records, me and Mike were just talking about it. Those records provided DJs with some arsenal. You know what I'm saying?
Man, if it wasn't for those records, I wouldn't have rocked no parties in the 90s. Those records was, that was the record you would drop at midnight to take the party from good to great. I mean, it would just, when you put the Franklins on, when people knew that, and it would just, the party would explode.
Yeah. And it inspired other DJs. Like I got into doing party records because of hearing your records. You know what I'm saying? I was in Atlanta at the time. Me and Mike were on Hot in Atlanta at the time. And I started doing my own version of Southern records. And I think Lil Jon and Mars did one as well, but I did more along, after that. But in any case, how did that start for you? Well, that started first. We got to go all the way back a little further. I was a rapper first before all of this shit. Okay. I used to rap. You go on my Instagram Live and look at some of my Throwback Thursdays, you'll see me in the club and in Club 201.
was 201. It was IS 201, Intermediate School 201 in New York City. Mm-hmm. And that's where two promoters who were like the pioneers of rap promotion back in the days in terms of concerts, Mike and Dave used to hold events. And Mike and Dave used to have all of the hot hip-hop artists of the day come through and do their venue. So it was the YMCA. If they could get the YMCA, they do the YMCA. They could get IS 201, they would do IS 201. If they could get the PAL, which is the Police Athletic League, they do it there. And people who came through there were, Bismarcky, Big Daddy Kane, Redman, pick whoever was hot in that era, Stetsasonic, Nice and Smooth, whoever was hot during that time of 84 to maybe like 89, they would come to Mike and Dave. This is before all of this became super commercial.
Okay.
No matter of fact, I might even say 82 to like 87, when right before, as the Budweiser Superfest and all that shit started to happen, that's when they slowed down because big corporate people came into the mix.
Got it.
And I was from Harlem. So the people that I idolized, the artists I idolized was Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh was the world's greatest entertainer from Harlem. And somehow, through doing all of these IS 201s and all this as a young artist performing, and I had two great DJs with me, Sean C., who was the A&R Loud for a long time, executive produced Mobb Deep, fucking Big Pun, and then world champion of the New Music Seminar, DJ Steve D. He was also my DJ. Because we had done that and got to a point with that, we got the attention of DJ Chillwell, who was the DJ of the
Get Fresh Crew.
The collective of DJs, Steve D, Sean C, Johnny Cash, our Grandmaster Rock Raider, who became Grandmaster Rock Raider later, DMD, Diamond J, Rob Swift, he's Mr. Sinister. All these guys eventually became a group called the X-Men. Mm-hmm. And they were the X-Men DJs, turntablists. And then because of copyright issues, they had to become the Executioners. So I was the only MC in a crew of DJs.
Got you.
So, because we idolized Dougie Fresh, I had two DJs, right? And we finally, something happened and we got the attention of Chillwell. And Chillwell, I was Dougie Fresh's DJ. And, we learned under him and we learned, I was under his tutelage in his farm system. I was in that farm system. Dougie Fresh was in that farm system. I was in that farm system and Rob Bass was in that farm system.
Okay.
So remember, it was Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. But there's another DJ named Easy Kid. It was Rob Bass had two DJs too.
Ah, okay. So
there's many tapes out there. I don't know where they are, but me and Rob doing practice sessions, rhyming back to back with each other and shit. So we grew up in that farm team. Anyway, I didn't get a deal, and I got a deal with Teddy Riley, and that's a long story. But when Teddy Riley broke up with his manager, it was over. So the deal was over. We had no place to go, whatever. I go off, I do my thing, I work in Mount Sinai, I wind up turning around, getting in the music industry. Turn around one day, and my brother wants to go to Hampton University. Now, Hampton University at this time in 1996 was $55,000 a year. Okay? So now I'm trying to figure out, well, how the fuck am I going to get $55,000? Because my parents don't have that money. They don't have it. They absolutely don't have it. It's not happening. I said, well, how do I get this money? And I said, well, maybe I'll do a record. I heard these party records. And I was like, I heard DJ Cool do Let Me Clear My Throat. I was like, fuck it, I'll do a record like that, whatever. So I went and did my version of DJ Cool.
Okay.
And, my version of Let Me Clear My Throat, I did it off Unbelievable, Kick in the Door, and something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst fucking record that ever was made. Terrible. I wish I had this shit to show you how terrible it was. It's fucking horrible. Somebody record. I wish that I had that one tape to say, listen, people, this is where, and I would put that tape on the wall in like a fucking thing, and I'd be like, this is where it fucking came from. Right. I would put that shit, and then I would put Be Faithful in like the same case, like, and be like, I came from here, but I got here.
Right.
And I listened to that tape. Me and my younger brother, young Sav, he hadn't gone to college yet, and we both agreed that it was terrible. So I happened to be driving in I-97.
You never released it? It never went out?
Nah, it never went out.
Okay.
I'm not letting that shit out. It was that bad.
No, I'm just saying you realized it was terrible before you put it out. Some people don't realize it until after the fact.
Shit is basura. This shit is garbage. Right? So I say to myself, all right, whatever. I'm in a defeatist mood now because I'm like, well, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And one night I happened to be driving in the Hot 97 because I work overnight, so Flex worked 7 to 12. So I was right behind him. Right? Mm-hmm. And drove in, said, okay, cool, whatever. And I was listening to a record, and a record came on because I was listening to Flex before I came in. Record's called Is New York in the House Right Now? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the record, it said, DJ Scissorhands, Crooklyn Clan, DJ Wiz, Crooklyn Clan. That's what DJ Cool said. Mm-hmm. And I asked, like as with any other record, I asked fucking Flex, I said, who the fuck is DJ Wiz? Who's DJ Scissorhands? Who's DJ Wiz? He said, that's the Crooklyn Clan. I said, well, okay, Scissorhands, who the fuck is DJ Wiz? He said, that's DJ Riz. And Riz was one of the guys that I used to promote records to. I was in Tommy.
Okay.
So I knew him because there used to be a radio show back in the days when there was no Hot 97 or Wild Man Steve and Riz on the radio in Long Island, college radio.
Okay.
And I knew Riz, and I was able to call Riz, and I called Riz, and I said, Riz, I'm trying to do a record, man. I heard what y'all doing. I listened to the records. Can I come out there and talk to you about it? I went out to like Canarsie, Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Like this is like right after fucking Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Like I'm in the most fucking Italian, fucking serious neighborhood ever. Like serious fucking guys, right? So I get there and I'm in a church, in front of a church. We meet in front of a church. And they're like, yo, you want to make a record? I was like, yeah, man, cool, please, man. I'd like you guys to help me. I told them what I was doing. And DJ Scissorhands said, well can you yell something? Like, you got to yell something. We got to have energy, like action. Yeah. So I said, what the fuck do you want me to yell? Yell hands up. I was like, okay, hands up. And when I did that, he went fucking berserk. He jumped up and down. Like, he was literally jumping up and down like a fucking girl. Like, he was, and that's no disrespect to Sis. I mean, he was fucking happy.
He was excited.
He heard the voice. He said, Riz, we have our own sampling machine now. We can do anything we want. And they said, well, I said, so come to my house tomorrow. And I went to DJ Scissor's house the next day, and I made a record called Hands Up. So if you remember, Busta Rhymes had Put Your Hands on My Eyes to See if you really want to party with me. Mm-hmm. And I just took that and I turned that into the shit that he told me to do the day before. Because he said, put your hands on my eyes to see. So he said, come on. Hands up. Now get your hands up. What? Hands up. Now get your hand. I just took it as what felt right to me. It's like, hands up. Now put your hands up. Now put your hands up. Hands up. Simple shit. Hands up now. Put them up now. Black people, where the fuck y'all at? Make some noise. Uh-huh. If you listen, I'm not exactly screaming on that record. I'm still kind of doing it in a way that I would do it in the clubs at 97 radio DJ / host of that, you know, when you go to the club and you're from the radio station, you talk on the mic for 2 hours.
Right.
And, you know, that record is a little lower in tone than all my other records. And then that shit came out, and I got the acetate. Gave the acetate to Flex. And, you know, I work with Flex now. So I'm like, all right, you know, Flex, you know, take a listen to this. So Flex knew me as a record promoter before I even was ever on the radio. He knew me for being a Tommy Boy guy. But now I'm working with him. So we on the same team. So I say, yo, Flex, man, listen, I got this record, trying to put my brother through college. You know, take a listen to it, tell me what you feel about it, because now I put my record promoter hat on, right? So I'm like, tell me how you feel, what you feel. And he took the record from me and said, the next night, I happened to be driving to Hot 97. And I wasn't even listening to the radio that night. I started getting a bunch of beeps. And I was getting beeped and shit.
In
like
the days of the beeper. Yeah.
Huh?
In the days of the beeper.
Like, yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And he said, yo, turn on the radio. Flex is playing your record. And turned on the radio. Flex was playing Hands Up. And he never took his foot off the gas on that record. He said, yo, this is Fatman Scoop. He worked here at the station. Shout to Fatman Scoop, brother. Shit just went off, man. And from there, I said, okay. And me and a guy named Chris LaMonica, who used to be the radio promoter at Loud Records, we got maybe 300 vinyl. And we went from New York City all the way down to Raleigh, North Carolina, one weekend. And we fucking gave those records out. And we stopped and talked to Cosmic Kev in Philly and DJ Rand in Philly. And, you know, then we went from there to Delaware and we spoke to the guys in Delaware. And then I went to Baltimore and I spoke to my Baltimore people. Then I went to DC and talked to DJ CeeLo and who else? A bunch of DJs. And then I went to Richmond, Virginia, and I went to see DJ Mike Street, who's now the cluster director down there. And then I went, God bless him, the dead, to my partner, one of my good friends who passed away, DJ Law, who used to be at WOWI, 103 Jams in Norfolk, Virginia. And I'm taking it down all the way down to Raleigh, North Carolina, to my man DJ DVS. And next thing you know, man, that record is on fire.
Yeah, again, that's amazing. That's amazing shit. And so y'all never stopped. You just kept turning them. Like, was there a formula for it? Or?
No, I mean, so it was a formula. All the shit that I would say in the club, I just say on the records. The Dougie Fresh taught me how to do crowd participation. It was fucking like second nature. I said the shit. He did another record called Where You At with DMX. All the wild motherfuckers, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? That record did marginally. It did okay. And I turned around and I said, yo, man, we cursing and we talking about niggas too much. We got to do a record for the females. And I came with Love Like This by Faith Evans. And in the beginning, I got pushed back like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, nah. So, yo, man, we need one for the ladies. And I put together all the best chants that I had when I was doing the club. You got a $100 bill, get your hands up, all that shit. And then I said, yo, let's put, hey, ho. I said, let's put, can I get a what? You know, because those were all famous records at the time. And DJ Scissorhands said, he said, yo, let's put the Black Sheep in there. Let's put the Asian number 9. I was like, yo, man, that shit's dope. That's a dope idea. And Scissorhands put that in, and the rest is history.
Man.
Now, how did you get all of those samples cleared?
It was 47 people, 47 samples to get cleared.
So you actually cleared them.
Imagine putting 47 motherfuckers in one room and getting them in free on one day. Very, very hard, man.
Yeah.
And there are parts of the record, if you listen to that clear part, there are parts that's missing because there are people who, I think there's like 1 or 2 people that didn't want themselves in the record.
Got you.
So we You couldn't put them in there. But we got the majority of it clear that came out in the UK on Def Jam. And, you know, again, #1 single, man, in England, #1 single.
Yeah, y'all did a video for it. They did a video for it in the UK. A cartoon, like an animated video.
I was pissed at that shit, man. Like, I felt like I wanted to do a real video in the club and do my shit, right? You never gave me that opportunity. You took a fucking cheap ass route out and got a fucking animator and a motherfucker and a fucking thing that don't look like me. It was like, I saw that shit, I was angry. I was like, y'all motherfuckers are making fun of me, man. Like, they're making fun of me. This shit is serious that I'm trying to do.
Right,
and, you know, but it worked. You know, to this day, people play it, it worked. Well, probably wouldn't have mattered if it was a fucking blank screen. The record was so hot that, you know, it was just like, fuck it, it didn't even matter.
Yeah. Shout out to I know one of the samples in the intro is DJ Nabs from his record with off his album. He had a Jagged Edge record.
Jermaine.
And, yeah. The very intro of Be Faithful is the Nabs record. So shout out to Nabs. We were working together at the time.
That one.
Mm-hmm. The very intro of it. But yeah, man, that's really dope, man. That's like, and again, hearing that inspired me, you know, to do my own version of it. Of course, I never achieved the success that you guys made with that, but from the South, I was doing records and stuff. Who I was sampling was Lil Jon at the time, because he was in the clubs, and I was taking the Southern chants, the who you with and Get Crunk and all those things, and putting those assembling those in records, and they did well, you know, in the South and across seas or whatever the case. But like I said, again, I've never.
At that time, if this was to happen today, my records would probably be not as popular as the Southern records, because the majority of music in America is Southern music. Took it over.
I never forget, man, because I was on the air in Atlanta at the time, and coming into Brooklyn, I remember I was walking down, where was I, on like Howard Avenue or something like that, and somebody drove by and I heard Bout It blasting from the car, and made me forget where I was at. I was like, oh shit, I'm in Brooklyn. They're playing Bout It. And it wasn't on the radio. It was somebody riding to it in their car. So I watched I was able to, being from New York and being in Atlanta, I watched the scene kind of change over, and was hearing like, it was always cool to hear like when Busta Rhymes would jump on Southern records and murder, slay the verses and all that type of stuff.
He's the man. Busta's the man. It's not this he said about it.
Yeah, man. Oh shit. So, man. So from doing those records, opened the door to do the record with Missy Elliott.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the record with Missy Elliott was a mistake. You know, I was down there in the capacity working for Hot 97.
Okay.
I went to interview Sierra, and I was interviewing Sierra, and Sierra said to me, "I cannot come to the station tonight, but you can meet me at the state at my recording session, because I can't come tonight. I gotta be in the studio late. I'm doing a record." She never said when she was doing a record with nothing. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. At that time, I was invested in myself. I brought myself a DAT plate, and I would just go wherever I had to go to get the interviews I needed to get from whoever I needed to get. So if I had to go to Usher, I had to go to this hotel room. Well, fuck it, I'm going to this hotel room. Mm-hmm. So I went and I met Tia at the studio session. We sat on the floor, Indian style, and fucking did this interview. I could barely get up. Remember, I'm 330 pounds.
Got you.
So I could barely fucking get up. I get up, I get my equipment, and I walk and I say, listen, thank you, Sierra, whatever. She starts doing this record. She walks in the other room, and now she's starting on this record. They say, play the beat. And it's like, the music makes me lose control. Music makes me lose control. Now, I'm Fatman Scoop at this time. I'm officially Fatman Scoop at this time. I'm already in Be Faithful. You know, I'm doing my shit or whatever.
Right.
And I'm walking out the door. I'm like, let's go. Oh, here we go now. Here we go. I'm walking out the door, saying goodbye. Music. Oh, whoa, hey. And Jay Brown, who was the A&R at the time, Jay Brown was Missy Elliott's A&R, and he said, listen, come back in here and do exactly what the fuck you just did just now. I said, yo, bro, I don't write records like that. I go home and I get a pen and I write it. So now me and him are arguing that. So I'm like, yo, man, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. So, yo, man, just do this shit. I'm like, yo, I'm not fucking doing it. He said, man, please, just go in there and do this shit. I walk in the room and I do it in one take. So whatever you heard on there is one take that I did, and that was it.
Wow.
If you listen to the end of the record, you hear it go, let's go, let's go. Let me get back now. You hear me out of breath.
Right.
Me out of breath.
Yeah.
One shot. And then I walked out the door and I left. If you go on my Instagram, you scroll down, it'll say the day that I met, the day that I recorded Lose Control with Missy Elliott. I had the video.
Oh, shit.
I had the video of the whole shit. So, yeah, it's right there. See?
Wow.
And then when Sierra is dancing on the record, when you say, now move your side to the left, girl. Now move your side to the right now. Now move your body to the left. Whatever the fuck I'm saying. I'm like, go CC. It's because I'm looking out the DJ booth, and I'm looking out the vocal booth, and Sierra's dancing, and I'm just saying what she's doing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So it goes without saying, you didn't imagine that record would take off like it did.
When Missy was not there, Missy's leg, she had messed up her ACL. And later on that night, Missy got to the studio. And I was already on Hot 97 at this time. I was probably on the air for like 2 or 3 hours, like 3 o'clock in the morning. And Missy said, she called the radio station, she called the warm line. And she said, listen, Scoop, this record is fucking fire. She said, this record's fire. This shit's crazy. So they went to do another single off the album, that album, The Cookbook. They did the first single, I believe. I don't think it worked. Because first it was supposed to be, Lose Control was going to be the first single. And then whatever they did, it didn't work. And Missy was like, yo, I'm going with Lose Control. And you go the rest, man. That shit started ringing off right away. I didn't even have to ask Hot 97. I ain't do shit. That record took care of itself.
Wow. Goddamn.
Crazy shit.
Man, you have a series of being in the right place at the right time, man. Like, God has been, like, placing you in spots for things to happen for you, man. That's amazing.
Exactly, man. I didn't, some of the shit I just stumbled into, man. And that's how it is when God's in your life, man. Like, you stumble into shit not even knowing what the hell it is. And you just accept it. If you ask God, God is going to do it in his own time. But if you humbly ask, you might stumble into some shit. And at that time, my whole mentality was with your brother through college. With your brother through college. And then my brother came out of college. He did an internship. He put his work in. He didn't depend on me. He didn't run off my name and say I'm Fatman Scoop's brother. He turned around and he ran. He was the president of Maybach Music. And he did his own shit. He got his own artist, Flip De Niro. He got a couple artists out here that he's moving around. So he's doing his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, all the time. No, I didn't know Young Sav was your brother when I was there. I find out after a while.
Because he wanted to be his own man. He never allowed me to discuss it. Ever. Like, I'm going to be my own man. I'm going to do my own shit. I'm going to come out my own way. I'm going to be known for me. And when people hear that, they're like, that's your brother? I'm like, yes, that's my brother. Like Monty said, come home at 7:30, brother. That's my younger brother. Right, my younger brother. He's 11 years younger than me. So basically, his whole entire life, he was with me. I took care of him. I watched him. I brought him around hip hop. I brought him around people. That's what I did. I put him through school. I helped him, get a job. That's what you're supposed to do for your family. Absolutely. And I want to see him do better than me because he should. Absolutely. And then my nephew should do better than him, and my kids should do better than us. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's That's like the mentality behind building generational wealth, man. Mm-hmm. That's how you do it.
You definitely do it by having people go further than you. You also do it by not living amongst above your means. You do it by fucking investing your money instead of spending stupid shit. Like, you know, even if you scamming the government with this PPP shit, all right, you know, motherfuckers scam all day. But don't do that shit. If you want to go to jail for some real shit, like putting it into land and putting it into investments and shit. You know, we as a people don't carry on as business people. We carry on as consumers.
Right. We're like 13% of the population in the US, and we account for something like 40-50% of the spending. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because you're not carrying yourself as a boss. You're carrying yourself as a consumer of a product. And, you know, that's cool, but what happens when the money's out of your pocket is gone? You're helping someone else get to the next level.
Yeah.
That's and we're not cycling it through our communities.
Yeah.
Huh?
And we're not cycling the money through our communities.
Well,
it's coming in and going right back out.
Right. We're not cycling the money through our communities because of certain reasons. Number one, we have a fucking complex where we will go to Gucci, walk in, and if the shit says $1,795 or $1,800 or whatever, we'll pay for that shit. But we'll go to our own people and we'll fucking want a discount. It's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is we as Black businesses have to get our shit together. That includes me. Delivering what you say you're going to deliver at the time that you're going to deliver it. I used to be bad at that shit. Like, you know, I have a custom drops business, and I would say it'd take this amount of days, and then, you know, it'd be this, or it'd take me X amount of time to have the meeting with them to write the drops. But now I just say, listen, this is what it's going to take. Say what it is, under promise and over deliver. And a lot of times, man, you go into a Black business, motherfucker, angry at the shit. They don't acting like they don't want to be there. Yo, we don't have that shit. You know, not saying, listen, hey, we're out of stock, or hey, you know, it was just such a popular item, we actually kind of ran out. But come back next time. You want something else instead? You say, shit, yeah. You can't, you know, you can't do it. You know, you can't do it. So we also have to fix ourselves as Black businesses. You know, I got boycotted at Hot 97 years ago for saying that the best Black business is a drug operation. And fucking, you know, I don't give a fuck. You know, if you tell Taquan to be at McDonald's at 11 a.m. to work, his ass might get there at 11:55. But if you tell Taquan to go pick up 2 keys of coke at the dock at 10 a.m., he's gonna be there at 9:30.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Well, no, it's interesting to hear you say that, because we had Romany Malco on, actor, was in 40-Year-Old Virgin, and his new movie Tijuana, Jackson, Purpose Over Prison. But he said almost the same thing. He said Black, and forgive me if I'm messing this up, Romany, but he said Black businesses need to earn the business from Black people.
This is the type of stuff when I keep talking about Black ownership, I keep talking about, it's not just about, you know, spending and supporting Black companies. It's about Black companies figuring out a way to capture Black dollars, meaning we can't just feel entitled because we're Black to earn Black dollars. We have to actually be innovative. We have to actually create things and things that are not inferior products, right? And we have to find a way to service the needs of our communities.
I mean, we in a zone right now, but we damn sure need to still earn business. It's like anything else. You have to earn people's fucking business.
Yeah. Customer service goes a long way.
You know, that's it. We need to do better. And hopefully we will take this opportunity and do better, because I noticed that more people talk about buying black and doing that shit, but the experience gotta be fucking right.
Yeah. What's your take? What's your take on the movement that's happening right now with the Black Lives Matters and, you know, all that's all the years that it's taken to get to this point? You know what I mean? And where people are actually paying attention to what's happening in the black community and taking a stance. What's your take on, you know, what's going on right now?
Simple. I fucked with Black Lives Matter, the premise. I fuck with that hard. But I don't fuck with the organization.
I don't know what the actual organization, or who has the actual organization at all, to be honest with you.
Listen, I wound up interviewing Candace Owens.
Really?
And just I didn't try to fight her about numbers and shit like that, because I can't do that. Just like she can't walk in the fucking Club Omni and fucking play 2 hours of hip hop, an hour of techno, and fucking 45 minutes of disco. Right, I just want to know what makes her tick. And she challenged me on Black Lives Matter. She said, look, follow the money. See where the money's going. Just where is the money going that they do? I started to go search that shit. She said, start with the website. See, you know, go look at the website, see what's going on. So I went to look at the website, and all I saw was motherfuckers selling clothes.
I'm on it right now looking at it.
Huh?
I'm on it right now looking at it, and you're 100% right.
I don't see nothing but motherfuckers selling clothes. Where's the programs? Where's the shit that they doing? And then I went and see who they donate to. And I found out it was the Democratic Party. I haven't heard Black Lives Matter donate nothing to nobody other than the Democratic Party. Where's the rest of the donations? Where's the programs? Where is it? If it was there, they'd have it on the fucking website to throw it in your face. Where is it? So now I go and I start doing this study of Black Lives Matter, and I'm fucking heartbroken. But the actual concept and of what people are marching in the streets for, I highly fuck with. It's my people. That's all people of color. That's actually people that just care about human decency.
Yeah.
But the actual, you know, global movement, whatever the fuck they got going on, I'm not fucking.
Yeah.
So that I've heard that from a few different people. I've said on the show before, I often fall down a YouTube hole and I'll watch a bunch of stuff. And I've heard, right? I've heard Candace Owens talk about it. And I've heard a few other people talk about it. One of the biggest criticisms that I've heard about Black Lives Matter as the organization is it started out on the purpose of betterment for Black people and justice for racially motivated killings by police officers. But it quickly got co-opted by the transgender, the LGBTQ movement, because the co-founders, I think a few of the co-founders are self-described queer or LGBTQ in the community.
I don't give a fuck about. I don't even care about that. I love it. I'll embrace it. But we gotta have something here. I'll take that because I'm for all people. But I don't exactly continue what you're saying. I just want to explain that because I heard that, you know, I found that out too, that it got co-opted by gay and transgender. I don't care, but just represent the people, do the fucking programs, get in the community. And listen, if we gonna be Black Lives Matter, we gotta be Black Lives Matter when they fucking killed George Floyd, but we gotta be out there just as hard when there's some baby killed by a fucking gang member. Same shit.
I think, I mean, and to that point, because I hear that I hear people say the same thing. Black Lives matters to everyone except to Black people when Black people kill Black people. and they talk about, it's always about what about black on black crime. And I'm from the theory that there is no such thing as black on black crime. There's crime. Crime happens in proximity. It just happens more black. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about white on white crime or Asian on Asian or anything like that. It's crime. It's because of proximity. Whoever's close, you kill who's close to you.
100%. People said that. People say that to me all the time. Just what's in proximity.
Yeah. But
now the other thing that I hear, just kind of going back, is that Black Lives Matter as an organization, and frankly, I haven't done enough research to say if this is 100% accurate or not, but they say Black Lives Matters as an organization is more of a Marxist kind of movement, because again, the founders have defined themselves as Marxists. And when you kind of look at Marxism, and it eventually kind of leads to communism. So it's a big fear that this is kind of preamble to a movement of something outside of capitalism and more towards a socialist or a communist kind of thing. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what I'm hearing and reading.
This country is built on capitalism. If you can't get rid of racism, how the fuck do you think you're gonna get rid of capitalism? If you can't get rid of racism, how you gonna get rid of capitalism? If you can't,
and why would you want to?
If you can't get a motherfucker to wear a mask, how you gonna get him to take a vaccine?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So speaking of, you bringing up masks and everything, how, in terms of what's happening with COVID-19, like everybody came off the road. I know you have been performing and doing things cross seas. I follow you. I see you all in places I never heard of, to be honest with you, places you've been traveling or whatever. How are you navigating, or how are you feeling now that that's kind of cut from, for the time being?
Listen, you want to hear something?
Yeah.
March 6th, I was mandated by the English government to come home. And I got on a flight. They said, get back to America ASAP. And
where were you at the time?
I was in Manchester, England.
Okay.
And I spent maybe from the 7th to the 10th, I just rested, because I hadn't been off the road. I've been doing this shit 49 weeks a year straight for the last 24 years. I sat down and I rested and I said, well, what am I going to do? I was 7 months ago.
Right.
I said, I better pivot real quick. I better pivot ASAP. And I just got right on my Instagram Live and I started carrying on like I was doing radio on Hot 97 on my Instagram Live. There's nothing else to say about this man. He's been at the top of the business for decades.
What up, baby?
What's going on, brother? His discography is amazing. Nobody does it in the mic booth like him. Everybody, this is LL Cool J. What's happening, sir? How you feeling?
What up?
So let's start here. First of all, Killer Mike, if you don't know him, he's part of Run the Jewels with LP. Of course, you have that Outcast connection. You're a civil activist. You have done a lot of it.
Yeah. I'm also a capitalist. I own businesses.
How are you feeling, sir?
I'm wonderful, man. I'm wonderful. I can't complain. We gotta, we from the project. So when Mom said you can't get that hamburger, you better go and get that Wonder Bread.
What's happening, my brother? Happy Saturday.
Right. Yeah, yes it is, man. How's everything with you?
Man, I'm blessed. Every day I wake up is a good day.
I want to just start from the bottom with you. People, just in case you don't know, I met Dr. Oz when I did an event for him. I actually went and he was exercising and I was doing chants and I had a really, really good time at this event. And then we got cool and I was able to bring him on the show. There's a lot I want to ask him and I'm going to start with this. And I built that from 2 people watching to 200, 220 people a night. No promotion, organic. I'm just starting to getting into promoting this. Once I really put my foot on the gas of what I'm doing, I probably have 600 or 700 people a night. Learn how to monetize it, make it my baby, and do something so that I have some form of income. And now I'm starting to hear people say, oh, Scoop, I like your show. I like what you're doing. I like who you interview. Yo, man, maybe we could do a podcast deal. I had somebody come to me about being on the radio. But I understood early that if I don't start moving now, when the music stops, there's going to be more niggas than chairs. And I said, if I don't move quickly, I'm going to be fucked up. So the people who are sitting on their couch still watching Netflix and thinking this is a game, listen, when ain't nobody gonna have no sympathy for you. When this is done, because we ain't as deep as we could get into this shit.
No, not at all.
There could be more to come with this shit. But you better learn how to make a living from your desk. You better learn how to make a living sitting down.
Yeah. That's the same convo Mike and I had when we started this, man, to be real. You know what I'm saying? Our content creation is always going to be viable. And even more so now, because, more people are home, more people are paying attention and looking for ways to entertain themselves, looking for content.
100%.
You know what I mean? I know on your Instagram, you do this thing. First of all, I'm just entertained by the comments and the people that you bring in. It's a litany of just like crazy motherfuckers. Like, yo. And then he said, I was telling Mike, you sit there with a jug of ignorant juice. Can you explain what the fuck ignorant juice is?
It's when somebody says something that's absolutely fucking nonsense or it's pure ignorance, I signify that by because it gives me time to reflect on the fucking nonsense that was just thrown.
Right.
Instead of taking a breather, not so. And now it's got to the point, and people, if you haven't watched my show, it's on every night, Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m., usually to like 8 or 8:30 p.m. It's got to the point now where, my following knows about this ignorance. So when somebody comes on and does something that we know is fucking stupid, people are already like, go for the job. Because they know what it is. Now, I could have went to Staples and I could have probably got this like really done professionally, but I needed the jankiness of it. I needed the jankiness of it for people to understand how fucking foolish it has to be for me to lift this to my lips and fucking take a drink. So, but for me, my show on Instagram, it's called Fatman Scoop TV. However, it is just a reprisal of the stuff that I used to do on my old radio show on Hot 97 called Ignorant Radio, where it was me, my brother, Sav, Megatron, God bless the dead, and Mr. Malachi, a.k.a. Something Like a Pimp. And he wasn't a pimp exactly. He was something like a pimp.
Something like a pimp.
He wasn't a pimp. That's what we called him. Something like a pimp. Because he was trying to pimp, but he couldn't put it together. So
he didn't quite go all the way there. Got you.
Yeah, he couldn't go all the way. He's something like that. So anyway, with that being said, that's all my show is. And it's going to take me maybe longer to get it to where I need to go because of the fact that it's brash, it's abrasive, it's fucking in your face, it's cursing, it's not, hey, what's happening in Hot 97 place in hip-hop and R&B? It's not that shit. It's me being who I am, and it's my own specific way of doing comedy and expressing myself. And to be honest with you, the weirder the people, the better. Listen, I can interview anybody. I interview anybody, any celebrity, but for me, the best times are just when the fucking regular people come on and kick it. That's the shit I love more than anything.
So I was watching one night and I saw you talk about somebody that was trying to come on live. You was like, here's so-and-so. Now I ain't gonna bring you on because last time you showed your dick. I can't do that. And if you do that, right. I gotta shut this live down. I'm like, what? What's going on?
Here's where this came from. I played Family Feud. This was the first and last time playing Family Feud. So we're going to play Family Feud, people. All I need you to do, give me an answer. If you got a good answer, I'm going to put you on. Okay, what's something that goes up and down? I'm expecting simple shit. Like an elevator. I'm expecting elevators. I'm expecting fucking stock prices. You know? I'm expecting fucking people with sensibility. So I pushed the button and there's a dick there. And I said, okay, now you're gonna give us your dick. Now I'm not understanding what he's doing, but what goes up and down is a dick. Okay, I got it. It took me 2 days to come across that, but I didn't need your dick. You could have just got on there with your face and said dicks. That's fine, amazing. You're right about it. But he chose to show us his dick. And then the funny thing about it was that 3 or 4 days later, he came back on and he showed his face like it was nothing. Like he had shown us his dick and he showed us his face. I said, listen, sir, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's a wild show, man. Like, and like it's the people. I mean, like, I pop in from time to time, and when I see that you're on, and I check it out, man. I'm like the comments and the people, just the weird shit, and the relationship that you have with your followers is hilarious. Like,
you know what it is? If you know me and you know me from being on radio, I'm a person who's always been very transparent about my life. Mm-hmm. I'm transparent about my life, everything I do. I treat anybody that I deal with like, with love and respect. So these people have now become a part of my show. And I have about 230 people. So that's almost like doing a small club.
Gotcha.
But soon it'll be 500, and then it'll be 1,000, and it'll be 2,000. But I'll treat people the same way. Same way I treated the first 200 people, I treat when it's 20,000. That's just what I do. Yeah.
That's dope shit, Scoop. Scoop, my brother, man. Yeah, listen, man. From day one, when I met you, I remember like my early days of when I first got to Hot 97, and I was working with the morning show. Shout out to Miss Jones. And something I can't remember something happened. I think I fucked up something. I can't remember what it was. And Jonesy blasted me on air about the shit or whatever the case. I was like,
fucked you right where you stood.
Man. And Scoop, at that time, he was on middays. And he came and we hadn't had many conversations at this point. And I was brand new. Scoop pulled me aside and was like, listen, watch your back, cover your balls, protect your neck.
But I'll tell you exactly what I said. Mm-hmm. I said, cover your balls and your ass. Because, you definitely going to get fucked in the ass. Okay? We know that. We're aware of that. Oh, you fucked him in the ass. Oh, yeah. We know that. But you're going to get fucked in the balls, too. And getting fucked in the balls is worse because nobody ever sees it. So it's worse. When somebody gets you in the balls, you never hear, oh, yeah, he fucked them in the balls. He fucked them in the ass. So when somebody fucks you in the balls, it's worse because you didn't expect it. I told you, cover both. Cover your ass and your balls. And watch your fucking, and keep your head on a fucking swivel. Now go on and do your job.
I've never forgot that day. I never forgot that. I've quoted you several times in interviews on that. And it's something that's become my mantra now. Like, in all that I do.
Here's the thing. We're used to getting caught from the back because that's how they fuck you in the ass. We know that. That's in prison, in life, we know that. But nobody's looking at the front. So when a guy gets you in the front, you never saw it coming because you're so used to back there. Cover both. Now you don't have to expect. Now that means basically expect the unexpected.
Absolutely. Scoop, my brother, I appreciate you even coming on and hanging with us, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Much success to you, brothers. And listen, people, if you're out there and you want to have a laugh during this time of the pandemic, I never wanted to be serious. I always wanted to give some people something to laugh. or smile about, because laughing is important in this time, in this unprecedented time. So every night, 6 to 8 p.m., Monday through Saturday, Fatman Scoop TV on Instagram Live. If you haven't followed me yet, at Fatman Scoop, and you should, because every day I release the artwork, and you can see who I have on every day. I've had everybody from Candace Owens, Dr. Oz, Senator Cory Booker, Mike Vick, T.I., Dougie Fresh, fucking the list goes on, Ja Rule, Stephen A. Smith. I've had a million people on. So not only can you see it there, but you can listen to all of my interviews that I've done on Make Noise with Fatman Scoop. You get that on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. You can hear every interview I've done. Very interesting and thought-provoking interviews with your favorite celebrities or people of influence. With that being said, brother, I'm going to let myself out the back door. I will talk to you later. Be safe, brother.
You too, man. Thank you, man. Peace.
Thanks a lot.
Peace.
Fatman Scoop, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, man. Oh, man.
That was awesome.
Oh, man. And there's so many more stories I'm sure Scoop can share. You know what I mean? Have him come back another time, and there's plenty more. He's an encyclopedia to a lot of different things. So, cool, brother.
Yeah. So that's that was dope. That's a history lesson. It was so much in there I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, what? Really? You got to deal with Teddy. Wait, we're moving past that.
We got to talk about that. Yeah.
I remember when I found out that Teddy produced the show for Dougie Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling somebody about that, and they were like, word? I think we had got to talking about Hot Teddy records, and I was like, yeah, Teddy did the show. They were like, word? I was like, yeah, he was 17 or something like that when he did that record.
No, younger than that, 15, 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah. Oh, man, I've heard some other stories he's talked about when he was doing records or having Bobby Brown come to the projects. He was still in the projects. Yeah, man.
Bobby was probably hella comfortable in the projects too.
Very much so. And that's why I love them so much. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love New Edition so much. Because they, like me, project niggas.
Project niggas.
Yeah, man. I'll take this opportunity to rap. That was fun. That was absolutely fun.
Run through some birthdays real fast?
Let's do it.
It's a couple. And again, if you're checking out the show for the first time, most people think birthdays are trivial, but I'd like celebrating people while they're still alive instead of, after they're gone and we're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So, last weekend, Foxy Brown turned 42.
Fox
Nori
Boogie.
Noriega. N-O-R-E turned 44. Actually, I can't show it, but I got a Nori plaque sitting right up here over my monitor.
Yeah.
The late Eazy-E birthday just passed. Ladies, Idris Elba turned 48 last week. And CeCe Peniston, 51.
Yeah. Also, of course. And because we can't forget our family member, Chris Ludacris Bridges, September 11th, celebrated birthday. Sup, Chris? Happy birthday, brother.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Otis Redding. Wiz Khalifa. Now, I've always had a hard time with his name.
Why? Why?
Wiz. Like Wiz? Really?
I mean, we knew of DJ Wiz.
I still feel some kind of way about that.
Why?
Wiz? It's like poop.
Well, I mean, I don't hear many black folks refer to P as Wiz.
Look, I have the mentality of a 12-year-old boy, T, right? Like that's where my humor comes from.
Ditto. But I never called it whiz. I when I hear whiz, I'm thinking whiz kid, smart, tech savvy.
Fair enough.
That's what I think when I hear it. Of course.
Who else? Rosie Perez turned 56.
Yeah.
She still looks great.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Rosie. How you doing?
Look up the stairs for your wife.
No, you know what? She has no problem with my little crushes. She has absolutely no problem. She reminds me of, hey, your girl so and so. She knows she knows. She knows. Hers is Alba Idris. That's Idris. That's hers. I'm like, all right, okay.
Yeah, what can you do? Who else? Bernie Sanders had a birthday last week. Turned 79.
I wish I could. I got to work on this because I'd like to be able to do impressions. I can't. All my impressions right now probably sound the same. I'll probably end up sounding like the Count on Sesame Street. If I tried to, yeah, all my impressions that sound like that. So I can't. But I'm going to work on it. And at some point, I'll have somebody down packed that I can. You know what I'm saying? I have to get these accents right. I have the most respect for people that can do impressions. Because if you close your eyes and you can see the person that they're that's job well done. Mine's might just be bad impressions. Maybe I just make that a segment. Bad impressions with T-Storm. I'll have to do something like that.
I do okay with some.
Yeah.
But I'm not brave enough to do them on the show yet. I gotta practice. Like I do a Schwarzenegger that makes old girls. It just makes her giggle every time I do it. She just giggles at that shit.
I got two. That's it. The Count on Sesame Street, and even my Elmo sounds kind of. Yeah, I can't. No, I won't.
I used to do a dirty Elmo. I would do Elmo, and he would just say awful shit.
Okay, I've already got a cease and desist before. Don't do that here, because I know where that leads.
I got a cease and desist from your man who's about to be a daddy, Usher.
Oh man,
when we talk about cease and desist on the show, I completely forgot about that. When I lived out in LA, I had really stopped DJing for the most part, but I was still trying to find a way to kind of stay in the game a little bit. So I started just kind of playing records in the house and practicing or whatever. And I would play records, and there would be parts in the record where they would talk about the DJ, right? Like, goddamn, that DJ made my day. And, last night a DJ saved my life. So I started a line of T-shirts called DJ Tees. What was the song, Usher? DJ's Got Us Falling in Love. And I had done a design with that phrase on it. It was like a heart with these wings and all of this shit on it. And I put it out there. And them joints was selling overseas.
Oh, wow.
And then one day I got an email. It was like, yo, stop. So I promptly went and took the motherfuckers down off the site.
Gotcha. Yeah. You don't want the smoke.
No, not over a damn T-shirt.
Not over a T-shirt. No, that's it. That's cool. Folks, again, thank you.
Lorenz Tate had a birthday. He turned 45. Gloria Gaynor turned 77.
I will survive.
Yep. And then Leslie Jones turned 53.
Big Les.
Now, what they have on here, for what she's known for is that Ghostbusters movie. Did you watch that movie?
I did, regrettably, twice. Because I'm a fan of Ghostbusters. Because I thought I would have watched it it would be better the second time. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I didn't understand it. And, it was all about, women empowerment, and I was all for it. And they even had some cameos of the original cast from from Ghostbusters made appearances in the movie, and I thought that was cool. I wanted to see it again, and the second time I was just, it was.
You paid to see it twice?
Well, I went to the theaters and saw it, and then I watched it on like pay-per-view or something like that afterwards. I paid, and I did pay for it. I rented it. I didn't buy it. I rented it on pay-per-view. And again, I mean, because I'm a fan of Ghostbusters. I'm even looking forward because there's a third Ghostbusters movie. I wouldn't say it's a reboot. It's a continuation of the original story that's supposed to come out.
The kids of the dudes find their stuff. And
the grandkids. Yeah. Right.
Oh, the grandkids. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not in New York. It's in some, I don't know, farm town, middle America, whatever. It's supposed to take place. And I think it was supposed to come out this year. And because of all this that's happening, theaters being closed or whatever the case, they pushed it back to next year. I'm looking forward to that again, but the reboot with the women just kind of fell. I think that might have inspired them to go, all right, we can't let that be the last Ghostbuster movie.
Admittedly, I didn't watch it, right? Because what I saw of it, I already didn't like it. And I was like, okay, I'm just not. Look, if there was an all-male version of Charlie's Angels, there would be outrage. Right?
It depends. It depends what kind of angels we talking about.
I'm not following you down that path. I'm not. It's like, oh, look at that thorny path. I'm not.
It could be Charlie's Angels. All men. It could be. In tight jeans. I mean, it could work. It could happen.
That's free. Folks, you got to watch episode 7 to get that inside joke.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go back and watch that or listen to it. Go back and listen to it. No, but my point is, I am 100% all for an all-female cast of a movie doing something. Do that shit. I'll buy the tickets, sign me up. But I don't like them taking that thing and changing it to this all-female thing. That and then it just didn't look as good. Now, if they did it and they did it better, then I'd be like, all right.
I mean,
right? But,
I think it had potential. I was hoping. I mean, and Leslie Jones was in it. I was like, this should be funny, and Leslie Jones was funny in it. It just wasn't. Yeah,
that was it.
It was a miss. It happened.
Like Leslie Jones was great. The movie sucked.
and there were references to the original movie. Certain they paid homage to the logo, the Ghostbusters logo. Watch it. In the comments, let me know what you thought about it. If you thought it was cool. Or not. I mean, everybody has a different
form
taste.
Your own opinions.
Yeah.
The only other birthday is Taraji. She turned 50.
And again, another one of my crushes. Hey,
really?
Taraji. Yeah, I like Taraji. I've always liked her.
Like she's just. She's super nice. Now I've met her, and it was back again when I was doing work on Empire. After I think it was season 2, season 1. I don't remember, but they did a big party on the lot for all of the people who did work on the show, and then. Like they surprised everybody because we just knew we were going to go in there. They had these champagne flutes with I think it had the Leviticus nightclub logo on it. And it was just like champagne. It was a good party, And then just in the middle of the party, they brought out the cast. So nobody knew the cast was going to be there. Gotcha. So I got to meet her and all of the other people. Somebody was missing that day. I don't remember who was missing.
Was it Juicy? Juicy Smollett? That's a Dave Chappelle.
No, he was
joke.
there, and I was on the elevator with him, the guy who played the older brother, and some execs or something, and we chatted a little bit on the elevator. But yeah, man, it's he's back in the news on something.
Yeah,
I saw it. He's back, but I didn't see why.
He's still talking about that. I'm the victim here. Okay, dude. Just let it go.
Hey, bro, just talk about it. Like,
stop talking about it. We forget if you would just stop talking about it. Come on, brother. But hey, come on now. Keep it going. Or keep it going. See how that works.
Well, you know, we do need material for jokes. So
yeah. All right. I'm going to take this opportunity to end this right here. If you're listening, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. More content coming up in the after show. So hit that subscription button, subscribe, like, and the bell. What's the bell on
notification?
Yeah, that notification. Hit that on YouTube. If you subscribe, if you're listening by audio, just subscribe, continue subscribing, and you can keep hearing us. Thank you again. Thank you to our guest, Mr. Fatman Scoop, for joining us. And we'll see you next time. For those who are watching, see you on the after show. Peace.
Peace. Thanks for checking out the Unpopular Opinion Show. If you like this content, make sure you like, subscribe, and smash the notification button down below so you can keep getting more from T-Storm and myself.
Yeah. More jokes coming on. No, they beep. Damn it. Okay, fine.